Saturday night, and welcome to my web show, Shut Up and Listen.
Hey Jude.
And we're back with questions.
Yes. Where was our first date?
This is debatable.
Oh, very debatable. So, our first date, I will argue and say I did not know that I was on a date. I thought that
And I said it wasn't a date. So.
See, I would have called it a date. But if you asked me, I would have said our first date was going to the mall when I came down to visit. At the time, I was probably living about an hour and a half away.
So at the time, she was Roman Catholic and I was Mormon, and I also was a girl. So neither of our religions, respectively, really did the gay relationships, which at that time is what I would have classes as. And so I was very conflicted at the time, just because back then I was still very trying to conform and be, you know, the Molly Mormon woman that my family wanted me to be, which is Molly Mormon is just like very typical, stereotypical Mormon. And I was trying to, you know, do the picket fence and the husband and the children and everything like that. And
I'm not a husband.
it didn't go well for me anyways. So in any case, so that was the Christmas of 13.
Yes.
And we went to the mall, and actually this one is terrified of needles. I mean, like,
when you say
will pass out and fall on the ground.
There is a kidney stone story that will probably follow later on in this video. Stay tuned.
And so she actually, in an attempt to get me, or to like discourage her from leaning on my shoulder and like snuggling, like, she actually got her ears pierced. How old were you?
So 2013.
Like 22?
21, I think.
21?
21.
Yeah.
21, 22, something
21
like
or 22, and she finally got her ears pierced. And she says it was only so she could hold my hand.
Yes, and that backfired because
I didn't hold her hand. Because at the time, like I said, I was very conflicted about it just because of religion reasons. But yeah, so that is her idea of our first date. My idea of our first date.
Panera.
Yeah. We were actually long distance for a very long time.
Yes.
And was that when I was in... No, there was a date before that. So do you remember when, so my roommate at the time was actually on a date. And it was a horrible date. I don't know if you remember this one. But I dressed up and I had like a nice blouse on, and I was in my roommate's kitchen and Skyping her. And she was I think you were at Starbucks.
I was at Starbucks.
Yeah. And I was babysitting my very adorable the 5-year-old that you saw in my other video. He was 2 at the time, and I was babysitting him so that his mother could go out, and she was having a horrible date. She was actually texting me being like, this guy is weird, and he made me, I think that was the guy that made her pay for her own 4 for 4 from Wendy's.
Yeah, that was...
Because in his logic, she was a feminist, and so, of course, she would want to pay for her own, but it was literally Wendy's. It was like $5.
Yeah, like,
it was so pathetic.
Yeah, like, chivalry is not dead. So if you're watching this video, you know, treat your boy right, treat your girl right. And
fun fact, she is now engaged to a lovely lady named Lane, and they are very happy. So they're actually out right now because it's New Year's Eve. So she's very happy now, and that loser has gone somewhere else. So I would consider that our first date. And we did this thing where we did like 100 questions to ask each other in a new relationship, which was funny because we'd known each other for 6 years already.
Yeah.
So that's another one. Where and when did we meet? We actually met our freshman year of college. I was her roommate.
And if you ask me, I would say it's one of those funny, like, deja vu stories. So I only knew one person that went to the same college that we had attended at the time, and
yeah, like from high school.
Yeah, from high school, and there was
and
a certain,
I didn't know anybody.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a certain part of the orientation where they like divided like the groups up, and like some people had to go register, and some people had to go in this lecture hall and like listen to whatever presentation.
Yeah, it was some
And-
presentation from like the dean.
Yeah, and my friend ended up having to go to the registration one, and I ended up having to go into the hallway. And unfortunately, at that point, like everybody already had kind of paired up, knew each other, and
it was like it was like a pair off and do some kind of game thing.
And I was kind of like okay, well, I need to find somebody, and so I kind of was just like, all right, I'm not
Scan the room.
Yeah, scan the room. I'm not the most like outgoing person, despite what you see in this video, and
I was literally like, I have Asperger's, and so I don't do well in social things. So I was like standing across the stadium, just like.
So I basically scanned the room and was like, okay, I'm just gonna talk to one person, and I'm gonna pick out one person, whoever that one person is.
And I was waiting for someone to, please God, choose me, because I didn't want to, like, I don't like to initiate conversations with strangers, so I was just kind of standing there like.
So I was like, pick one person, that's who you're going to talk to. If they're already paired off, they're already paired off. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to not have anything in common like the rest of the people and move on. And, I pick out my husband. Yeah. And then we decided to room together because in what I found out later, and, his words was that I was boring, which in his defense meant I was somebody who was not really interested in going out to party, probably wouldn't be bringing boys back to the room, and wanted to focus on school and just get a good education. My definition of a party is, let's get the box of Cards Against Humanity or Apples to Apples, order some pizza, and
or cut laminating.
Yeah, that too. My teacher friends, if you have found an easier way to cut laminating, please tell me.
I like cutting laminating, so she just married me and we're good now.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so like for me, I just thought she would be like lame. And so I figured none of that would apply to her, and so I asked her to room with me. And she thought the same thing about me.
Yeah, I was like, this person doesn't necessarily seem like a partier. It doesn't really seem like somebody who's going to be coming back at like 2 o'clock in the morning and wake me up. And, yeah, that
so
kind of thing.
Both of us were like, yeah, that other person is lame enough for me to room with and not have problems. And it worked out nicely.
He was great. He made me cherry cobbler and everything. If you want to hear that story, comment down below, because it's a good one. Anyway, next.
It's a very good story.
Next.
What color are my eyes?
Blue.
Sometimes.
Mine are green.
What color are they right now?
Blue.
Sometimes they're green, sometimes they're gray. Sometimes one is blue and one is green.
Mine are green, I'm just...
Hers are hazel.
They are green. My driver's license is green.
Yeah, but they have like the brown flecky things.
They do.
So they're more like hazel.
Anyway, bum-ba-da-dum-ba-ba-bum.
This is Georgie. He's our giant teddy bear.
He's my love.
He really likes snuggles.
He does.
Yeah. And he's very snuggly. He's very large. He's a big fat cat.
Yes.
Got your belly belly.
Belly belly.
And he's about like 17 pounds.
Yes.
And he loves pizza, ham, bread, and chicken. Especially like the juice from the chicken bag.
Yes, like we will have to put our chicken wrappers like that come in like a Target bag, close it up, put it under the sink, and then wait to put it in the garbage can, because otherwise this one will chew a hole through the trash bag after he jumps in the trash can and knocks it over to get the chicken juice.
Also, another lovely story of George. He ate the last piece of our wedding cake.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Was it worth it to you?
And I promise you, he's purring right now. Like, he really likes to be snuggled and held and cuddled.
He comes home and demands to be held and picked up and snuggled. He doesn't like being...
Picture. Yeah.
He doesn't like being sung to.
No, if he's in trouble.
But I don't sing.
She sings to him.
Yes. Oh, is that what you have to say about that?
He's protesting the singing. All right, here you go.
Goodbye.
I think he wants to go chase his brother, Fred.
And
Fred's hiding, and he's too fast for me to catch, so...
Yeah, so Fred's not going to be part of this, but I think
He'll
you've
be in another video, I'm sure.
You've seen him in the past video there. Right,
his tail was in the last one. Okay, let's see.
Do you want another one?
Let's see. What am I really bad at?
What are you really bad at? You are really bad at knowing when to be quiet when other people are trying to have a conversation in a group.
I really want to say what I was gonna say, and then I just...
He talks over people. and doesn't necessarily pick up on like the social cue of like the train has left the building and everyone else
Yes.
is talking about something else now.
Well, because I was gonna say something and then people interrupted me, and so I have to like wait. And then by the time I wanted to say it, they moved on to another subject. But I still want to say it.
Yeah,
So
so
I
he
say it
does.
anyway.
So what am I really bad at?
Merging.
No, I would have said math.
Merging. Did you see 17? You'll laugh at that one.
Oh, I will laugh at that one. All right, let me find 17. Oh, yes, I will laugh at that one. What sport do I like the most? Gymnastics.
Obsessed.
I like competitive eating. I don't really compete, I just eat. I see food, I eat it.
Unless it is seafood.
Yes, fish are friends, not food.
47.
What is my favorite clothing item? Okay, so for me, I'll tell you later. For him, I actually just came back from a girls' trip to from Universal Studios in Orlando, and they have a like superhero island section. But this one's obsessed with Deadpool, and so when I saw
And I have been obsessed with Deadpool since before the movie came out, so not just a phase.
Yes.
It is like long since I was a young teenager.
So when I was there, I happened to see Deadpool pajama bottoms, and I was like, oh, he'll die. So I ended up getting him Deadpool pajama bottoms from
And
Universal.
they match my pool party shirt,
Yeah.
which picture, because
Yes.
I actually have a unicorn
Yes, it's epic.
floaty
It's
that
epic.
goes with the shirt very nicely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think one more.
Oh, no, for me.
Yeah, what's yours?
You know mine.
Pajamas? I don't know.
No, a hoodie.
Oh.
I love hoodies.
You know, I didn't think about it because we're in Florida.
Yeah, I don't really get to wear hoodies very much down here, but
Yeah.
when I was living elsewhere, that was kind
She,
of
like,
my
lived
go-to.
in
I
hoodies.
lived in hoodies, you know.
Yeah.
If you're cold, put on a hoodie. If you need to go to the grocery store, put on a hoodie. If you need to go out to your friend's soccer tournament, put on a hoodie.
Not wearing a bra, put on a hoodie.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I
we've caught
caught
Fred
a
now.
friend! This is Fred. He doesn't want to be
Here.
in the video.
I'll hold it. This is Fred. He likes to be held like a baby.
Yes. And when he is angry or very mad, his tail puffs up
like a
like
red
a red
panda.
panda. So he's the red panda cat, and he is also the tiny cat because he was the runt of his litter. And we have another guest star coming to join the set. Bum, ba-da-dum-ba-ba-ba. It's Georgie! Say hello.
George doesn't like the camera in his
No, he
face.
doesn't. Okay, goodbye,
But yeah,
Georgie.
as you can see, Fred is, he likes to be held like a baby.
Yes, George doesn't really feel like participating much.
No.
But,
Okay, so let's see. Let's do this one.
okay.
What does the other person do that annoys you?
So, apparently, I have a habit when we go to Target, Walmart, Publix, grocery store, of either walking in front of the cart and then deciding I see something that I want and just standing in the middle of the aisle.
No,
trying to figure out what I want.
No, it's not that. She pushes the cart and she will like be walking down the middle of the aisle, and then she'll see something like behind her that she wanted. So she'll like barely turn the cart, so it's taking up the entire aisle diagonally, and she'll just like trot away and go look at whatever it is, and then like everyone who's trying to get past her and she has blocked the whole aisle with the cart, they're glaring at me because she doesn't notice.
I mean, my thing is if I'm blocking it, then you need to tell me either, hey, can you please move your cart, excuse me, or
I
you
usually
need to
just
go
like
around the other
push
way.
the cart.
You know?
Like if that was me, like if somebody was blocking the aisle, I'd usually just like
Yeah.
gently push their cart out of my way.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I always get glared at, and I'm really like I'm hypersensitive to that. I don't like it. It doesn't faze her at
Not
all.
really, no.
But I don't like it. I don't like to be part
Yeah.
of the scene. So okay, so what's mine?
You cut me off and you don't always let me finish my sentence, and or you talk over me, and or if we're in a group situation and everybody is talking and the
I'm bad
train
at
has
that.
left the station, he continues talking about whatever the last topic was,
I
even
wanted
when
to
the
finish
conversation
what I was saying.
just like now. Anyway, next question.
But
Which
I'm
I
adorable.
love you.
And then sometimes if I interrupt her too much, she'll be like talking, and then she'll be like,
Yeah. I have to give him some kind of social cue that, like, I was speaking.
And then I'll go,
It's
oh,
not your
sorry.
turn.
And then I listen.
Yes. My hip was falling asleep.
But yeah.
Anyway.
And now, here we are today. And she's still my best friend.
Yes, he's my best friend. He's my favorite. He's adorable. and I love you.
I love you too.
So yeah, so for those of you who are like out there kind of being like I was, you know, either, you know, just you thought that you were going to be with the person that you were dating and then your relationship didn't work out and there's just nobody, and you kind of
You
say,
feel like forever
you know,
single.
you're going to be forever single, or you say, okay, since I'm going to be forever single, I'm going to focus my attention on other things like my career and just, you know, go, you know, and be, you know, a badass at whatever it is you do. Like, you will find that person if you want to and you're open to it. When you're not looking, it may not be who you think it is. It may be somebody that you already know very well. It may be somebody that you've never met before. I think a lot of people who are trans, correct me if I'm wrong, have this mentality of, you know, nobody will ever love me,
Very
nobody
much so.
will ever want me. And it's not necessarily a nobody will ever want you, but you
It's
want the
just-
right person to
Well,
want you.
with being trans, it's very hard because, especially if you're not done with your social and medical transition, it's very, like, if you are a trans man and you happen to be either gay or straight, and it's like if you're gay, then it's very, I wouldn't say it's very hard to find a cisgender male who is gay and will be with you. It's just some people can be very judgmental, or even if they're just they're not attracted to whatever your
Yeah,
body
that-
is, like it can be even very valid, but it is kind of hard to explain sometimes to people who don't know a lot about being trans. Oh yes, I'm a trans man and I'm gay, so I'm into
Yeah.
other men, and by the way, about body parts, like it can seem very disparaging.
And the other thing that I would say is you can't pour from an empty cup. So take your time to discover who you are. Get yourself in a stable place. Get yourself, you know, into counseling.
Meme
Get
for that.
yourself get yourself stable financially. Get yourself either established in a career or, you know, in a job that, you know, you have some financial, you know, security. Get yourself some savings. Make sure you're in a good place, because if you're not in a good place, it doesn't matter how much love you have for the other person. It's just not
You
going
ready
to work
for me to
out.
sum that up in one sentence?
Sure.
Be happy, or what is it? No, I can't remember it. It's
So
the
we're not
meme
gonna
that I
sum
was
it up
gonna
in one
put. No,
sentence?
it was the meme I was gonna put in, and it was it's like be with someone who makes you happy, but then take out the with. Be someone who makes you happy.
Yeah.
Bye.
Why are we saying goodbye?
Just say bye.
Okay, well, if you liked this video, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you liked it, comment down below. If there's other things you want us to expound upon, either separately or together, go ahead and comment.
Bye.
Bye.